Welcome back to our video series on Building Hope with Connect 2. I'm Ariel, and I'm here with Greg, our founder and CEO of Connect 2 Ministries. We've talked about how Greg and Pastor Puis were able to see each other again and visit the new property together. Now, Greg, as you guys were traveling and looking around at what's needed in the community, what were you guys most excited about that this ministry compound will be able to be used for in that local community specifically?
Well, one of the unique things about Haitian culture is you don't just move into a community, you really need to be invited in. And so Puis has been there for a while, and he's been talking to the community people and talking to them about what we're going to do. And they're very excited to have us in because they know we'll bring resource, we'll bring employment, we'll bring a lot of things that they don't even know what they're going to get yet. So that's pretty exciting to me. And some of that will be the medical portion of it. They have a hospital there, but there's all of the things that lead up to the hospital. What are all, a wound, a broken arm, all of those things that you don't need necessarily a hospital for, but can be handled in a clinic. We also know that there's a huge need for food because of the gang activity that's happening in Port-au-Prince. They can't sell their food down in Port-au-Prince, so they've been able to only do a limited amount. So we can help supplement their food with some of our own. And then the thing that I'm excited about too is we've always had to bring in or buy everything that we had before, and now this new expanded property will be able to be a little more self-sustaining because we have all the animals we need, we have extra property that we can also grow our own food on. So it just brings a lot of things that we haven't had in our first compound, and the first compound is awesome and still will provide a lot for that community down there, but this one will provide things that are a little different. But then the biggest thing to me is one of the things about Haitian culture is different areas have different strengths of belief. This one's pretty dark as far as the absence of churches, the absence of a real solid witness for Jesus. So we're going into an area where there is definitely a need for some strong ministry. And Pastor Puis, he's the guy for that. He's the one who can disciple pastors, and we can see a lot of ability to be able to move the gospel forward in that community.
Greg, you've touched on the darkness that surrounds this community spiritually. And we know that children from agrarian communities are more susceptible to being sold into slavery. How does that happen, and how do you see our ministry being able to serve these families?
That's a great question, Ariel. And one of the things about child slavery is they usually come from the more rural areas, and then they're sold. The Restavik children are sold in Port-au-Prince. So you can either take care of the kids after they've been sold, or there's a possibility, what about if we could resource those parents prior to having to sell their children? So we feel like we can kind of be at the origin of the process there, and as we reach into the community, if we find a family in need, we can come alongside and help them. And then maybe they won't ever reach that area where they feel desperate enough to have to lighten their family by one child, two children, whatever it needs. So hopefully we can stop slavery at the very beginning instead of dealing with the end result.
Thanks so much for joining and watching our video series on Building Hope with Connect 2. Be sure to follow along for all of the videos by subscribing to our social media channels and our blog.